Hey everyone, and welcome to this Q&A video. In a minute, Max will be replacing Brody and answering some questions with me. So we spilled some tea, we answered some questions. But first, I wanted to tell you guys about Fetch Rewards. Thank you so much, Fetch Rewards, for sponsoring today's video. I actually have been thinking recently, you guys, that I wanted to make a video about like easy ways that I've been saving money in the past year or so, because I feel like I've just gotten a lot better at doing these little things to save money that really add up over time. So if you'd be interested in that video, let me know in the comments down below. But basically, if you guys didn't know what Fetch Rewards is, you definitely should. It's such an easy way to save money. Like I was saying, it's just a free app, free to download. You can earn rewards on literally everything that you buy. Like every retailer is on there, whether it's restaurants, if it's Target, if it's Starbucks, Amazon, Ulta. Like I'm thinking of the places that I go to the most. And it can be a physical receipt like this Target receipt I have, or it can even be an e-receipt. Basically, you just scan it in there and then you can redeem it for a gift card. The whole process takes like a couple seconds to scan the receipt, get the rewards. Like I feel like I usually pick a Target gift card, or I'll do Amazon, Ulta, Starbucks. Are we shocked? So here is Fetch Rewards right here in my orange app section. I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to scan the receipt. So you literally just take a picture like this. So as you can see, I spent $103 at Target today, and I can use the 798 points immediately towards any gift card I want to get. And like I said, there's also a section where you can add in your e-receipts too. So you guys should check out the link in the description box below to download Fetch Rewards for free. And I know if you guys use my code Gretchen, you will actually get an extra 4,000 points when you scan your first receipt. I know it's a limited time offer just for you guys only, so I would hurry and download their app and use my code Gretchen. Again, you'll get 4,000 points literally just for scanning your first receipt. And like I said, it's such an incredibly easy way to save money, so like why wouldn't you? So again, Fetch Rewards will be linked in the description box down below, and let's get into the rest of the video.
All right, let's get into it.
Are you ready?
I am.
Are you in the chatting mood like you said you were? Okay,
had
question
2 coffees and a Diet Coke, so I'm caffeinated.
You're caffeinated up.
Yeah.
Okay. My grand little Audrey, hi, I love you, I miss you, said, how long after meeting did he ask you to be his girlfriend? I literally just told you this before this video, but Max thought it was, did you think it was longer or shorter?
Probably longer.
It was just a month.
Yeah, but I think I was getting confused with when I told you that I loved you.
Yeah.
Which was longer, 3
months.
Yeah.
I feel like those are good benchmarks. Like a month of getting to know each other before you're like, okay, like we're boyfriend, girlfriend dating. And then like 3 months of dating and getting to know someone, you can be like, okay, like, are we in love?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
those are good.
A month.
Good timeline.
Yeah.
I would say.
And how old are we when we met?
I was 23.
Yeah, and I was 21.
We were actually talking about that the other night.
Like literally last night. That's why I picked that question, because it's really starting to freak me out how we're aging.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 2 years, but it's scaring me because Max is so close to being 26, and that just seems so grown up to me. And I'm like, the fact that you're about to be 26 and I'm 23, which is how old you were when I met you, freaks me out, because you were like so old then in my eyes, and now I'm 23.
Yeah.
So basically I'm about to be 26.
And now it's weird because our hockey team is so young now that it's almost like I'm one of the older guys now, when just last year I felt like I was like
so young
and like, yeah. So it's funny how
interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's some really young guys and like older guys too. Okay, this is best and worst parts of living with a significant other, which I feel like we've touched on before on podcasts or different videos. I feel like we've gotten this one before. Okay, what do you think?
Best part is just being around each other all the time. Yeah. I
agree.
And a good thing is, like, I feel like I don't need to like rush home like from like the rink or whatever I'm doing, like
because I work from home.
And no, just because you're here all the time. But like if you were visiting, I felt like I had to like rush all my other things to like come back and like spend that time with you, because you weren't here all the time. But now that we're here together, it feels like more normal and
chill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but when we were long distance, it was like I had to get all my priorities taken care of and out of the way, because it was like the time that I was with you, like I felt like we had to really be together and be so present. And so obviously it's more chill living together. That's the best part, I think, too, just always being together. Or even if we're not together for a while, say you have like an away game like on Saturday and you're like away all day, but then I still know that you'll be home at night and like can sleep next to me, and that's just like comforting. This is if you could change one thing.
Wait, we didn't do the worst part. Did it say best? Yeah.
Oh!
We gotta do the worst part.
Worst part. I thought we said that.
Worst part. I think just we have our little
don't even
tidbits that annoy each other.
I thought you were gonna say one specific thing. I was gonna say, don't say that on the YouTube.
What I do? What do I do?
It's a small thing, so that's why I always say to Max, like, probably the most we bicker about is if you chew, and I'm like, oh my god, it literally sounds so
it's just normal.
And then we just laugh, and I'm like, okay, if our biggest issue in our relationship and our biggest fight is when if the other one has some
wind,
then it's like not a big deal, like that's what we fight. So, but like, no.
Yeah.
It's not about it. We don't really, well, I was gonna say we don't really do things that bother each other that much. I would say I do more things than you do that like just being messy or leaving like crap everywhere. Yeah, that's more clutter. Me. I'm like clutter queen, because I just always have like a lot going on. It's not that, way more pros than cons, obviously. Okay, I started saying a different question, but this one first. When did we know we wanted to move in together? Because I feel like that's so different based on couples. Like couple to couple, it's so different.
Yeah, I think last year we were in agreement that I wanted to do my first year of like pro hockey like on my own and kind of like by myself and live on my own and kind of do that. But then I think throughout the year we kind of agreed that I don't even know if we had like a conversation about it. We were just kind of on the same page, like
knew it was happening
from the beginning that after this year we would move in together. Wherever we may be.
I know, I feel like so many things people are like, oh my gosh, like when did he like specifically ask you to be the girlfriend, or like when was it like the conversation of like, are we living together? But I feel like we just always talk about our relationship so much, like it was always like
in the open, and it wasn't like a secret that I was gonna ask you to like move in.
Will you move in with it? It was never like that moment. And I laughed when the first question, when it was like, when did you ask me to be my girlfriend? Because when did you ask me to be your girlfriend? Because I basically
it was more like you
asking you to ask me. Because I'd always like talk about, I'd be like, hey, so like when are we dating? And then one day I was like, okay, like what is your deal? Like, are we dating or what?
I think you were like, what are we? That typical question that girls always ask.
So then like the moving in together, like I wish we never brought it up so that I could make you be like, will you move in with me? But that's
I'm glad it wasn't like that, because I feel like that's like awkward and
like scary. It's kind of like a big thing.
Yeah.
I know, like it would be like a big deal, but we always just chatted about it and we're like, okay, well, and because you like, there's been so many times where we've like halfway lived with each other when you like sort of lived with me in Boston. And then when I accidentally ended up living at your mom's house for like 6 months in quarantine. So then it was just like, made sense that we were gonna live together. And we always knew that his second season, like we talked about, we were like, okay, then I would be with him because I can work from wherever. This says, if you could change one thing about each other, what would it be?
Well, okay, I guess this is like recency bias.
What?
The one thing that you do, it's kind of like every night is you'll do this thing. I think it's because like your phone charger isn't like long enough, so you'll just stand next to the bed with your phone, and like you'll be on your phone for like 10 minutes just standing next to the bed while I'm like in bed like waiting. That's probably what I would change.
Okay, that's really
just
funny.
Just to like get into bed quicker.
That's like a common thing. He's like, hello, like we turn off the lights and go to bed, and I'm like standing there like texting whatever. Yeah, okay. If I could change one thing about you, I would make it so that you don't bite your nails.
I wish I could change that.
But it's not bad. Every time I see his finger go in his mouth, I'm like.
I thought you were gonna say change my my stressfulness about being on time and being early and stuff.
Things. Yeah. He like takes some parts of life with such leisure, and then other parts of life so promptly and seriously. Like he'll be like, hey guys, this is Max. Okay, we're skating at 1, so obviously I have to be at the rink by like 9:30. So I have to leave here at 8:30 because it only takes 20 minutes to get there, but who knows? And then it's 8:15 and he's like, oh my god, I'm late. And I'm like,
the other day was bad. When I got out of the shower, I was kind of having a mini panic attack.
He just kept yelling, I gotta go, babe, I gotta go, babe, I gotta go. And I'm like, and what do you want me to say?
But good thing I did leave when I did, because there was a lot of traffic.
It was snowing.
I was still very early, but I wouldn't have been.
He has like crippling like anxiety over being late. Yeah, you freak out over being late. And I'm like, okay, so if it's a 5-minute drive to go to like the supermarket, whatever it is.
I used to have like nightmares of like missing my alarm like for like a morning lift or something.
Yeah.
And
so that's what it comes from?
Yeah, it's like PTSD.
Taylor has that.
Yeah.
If I would like wake her up in the morning, she'd be like, I'm late, tell him I'm on my way, tell him I'm coming. I'm like, no, it's like Sunday or whatever. Hockey.
Okay.
All the like a million questions about hockey, so you just need to explain the situation. Are you in the NHL right now? What team are you currently playing for? Like, what team are you signed to? Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. So I'm not in the NHL. That is my goal eventually one day. Hopefully.
Oh, good. That's the next question.
Okay. Yeah. I was invited to the Philadelphia Flyers training camp before the season started. I think it was partially because they had some injuries and needed some players. I was in the area, so that was
worked
good.
Out.
Yeah, that was good on our part for being here and being ready and being able to play. So that was.
Because most of your team wasn't back yet.
Yeah, so that was definitely exciting. My first like pro training camp, which was cool, playing with all those NHL guys. And
I know people are asking about that. They were like, were you like starstruck, like playing with some players that you've like seen for so long or whatever?
Not really. I think maybe like the first day when I kind of
then you're like
ran
with
into
them.
Yeah, but then once you're out on the ice, it's just kind of like playing against anybody else.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and I had a lot of familiar faces because a lot of guys from my team were invited as well, so we were all there kind of together. So that was nice.
So what team are you signed to?
So now I'm with Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the minor league team for the Flyers. So I'm signed with them and hoping to get called up either this season or earn a contract for next season with the Flyers or somewhere else. So.
Yeah, and that's like, I think too, people were confused because I feel like that was always the plan. Like you were always signed to the Phantoms for this year, so that's why we moved here in September and all that, and we're always prepared for him to be playing here. And then he just went to the training camp, so then and then people were DMing me being like, oh my god, saw Max just got hurt in the Flyers game, and I'm like, no, he's like not with them right now. Like you must be, everyone was so confused. So I think what people don't realize too is how much movement there is between teams, and even like in an organization between like the Flyers and the Phantoms, maybe less this year with COVID, I don't know, but or maybe even more if people are like getting sick.
I think a little less this year because they have that taxi squad where it's a handful of guys that are just kind of on call ready to step in for the Flyers in case they have injuries or have the COVID issues. So yeah,
and his season started because there's so many, like people saw my Instagram stories.
So we finally started
February
5th. Our game was the 6th, but
okay,
that was our opening night.
Yes. So have you had 2 games now? 3?
1 game.
Oh, I'm thinking of the preseason game.
Yeah.
Okay. And the preseason game is the one that I went to.
Yeah, that was that one.
So if you guys care, this is exciting for me.
Yeah.
But if you live with the players, you're allowed to go to the home game. So I went to 1 home game so far.
Yeah. So basically really just the wives and girlfriends in your case,
and because I thought about it too, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. Like if you live with the players, you're ready to like contact with them every day, like you should be able to go. So that's really exciting. So if you guys see me at the games and you're like, what, that's why.
And I think they're letting in a few a certain number of fans this year. I think there was only like 50 fans at our game the other night.
It was like the ring felt empty, but just like a couple of people.
And I think in Hershey there was 500 maybe. So I think we may go up to 500. I think it was just because it was preseason. But
I hope some of you get to go if you live here.
Yeah.
One of the lucky few, and it's like masks on the whole time, like the whole thing. So yeah, in case you're curious. So I kind of said, but do you have any specific goals? Will you play hockey as long as your body allows? Kind of said your goal. I mean, everyone's goal.
Yeah, that playing in the NHL would definitely be my #1 goal, and as terms of playing hockey as long as I can, I think that what I would like to do, definitely not get a real job anytime soon.
Until your body like breaks apart.
Or if it happens to be better for us or whatever it may be. But yeah, we'll keep playing hockey until you can't.
So I want to do this question now because I feel like then they'll see even more about you. So when we were kids, what did we want to be when we grew up? Because that's the answer to your question. Yeah, so I always think that's so cool. Like, you know, when you're little and you're like, oh, I want to be a hockey player, I want to be like a princess. Like, how many people actually get to do that? So that's why, I don't know, I always get so proud of you. I think that's so cool.
And what would you like
Because I wanted to be a dolphin trainer. Clearly, so
still time.
Do we like living in Pennsylvania?
I do.
I do too. Like I've adjusted. It was definitely, I say to everyone, it's a change of pace. A big change of, I mean, I was living in like a big city and now here, but I feel like also anywhere you live right now, it's a change of pace because like cities are kind of still shut down. You're not really like socializing and stuff. So it was a good time, and obviously with the dog, and we were just so ready. And so it took me a little bit to adjust and be like, there's a lot less like stimulation in your environment. I don't know, like it's just a lot more chill, and you're driving everywhere and like driving to get Starbucks and go to the grocery and stuff. But I love it now, and I literally was just thinking today, like running errands, like how this reminds me of Albany where I grew up. And that's why I think I'm also comfortable here, because it's just a very similar environment, suburbs, like
and I think you're doing better now than when we first moved, because the other girlfriends and wives are here, and you get to chat with them.
I know. That's a question, because everyone's always like, are you making any friends? And I'm like, literally no, because I'm scared. And I sit here all day with Brody because I'm scared to go meet people or do anything social, obviously with COVID. And so it was really nice that their season started up and that his team is finally here, because we were just here way early, and that I get to be with like the wives and girlfriends. Like I got to meet them, and I get to text them about things and be like, okay, where do you get your hair done? Like I really need to get my hair done. Like things like that. It's just nice to have them here. Okay.
That has something on there.
That's what we're doing right now. No, you're not supposed to look. Okay, all the questions, of course, everyone's just like, do you have like a timeline for like proposal, engagement, kids, like all these things? Or they're like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And let me just tell you, because I think Max.
No, I don't.
Honestly, I think you get so scared because.
I don't get scared.
Or no, I think in Max's head, he thinks that I'm like, baby's ringing like all the time. But I'm like, literally, no, it just so happens. Like if you guys follow other people on social media, somehow in the past like 2 years, everyone I follow on Instagram and YouTube is pregnant. Like literally everyone. And I'm like, I swear I follow these people, like ask me like whoever for like 10 years. Now everyone's pregnant, everyone's having babies, everyone's getting engaged. But no, so I think
for us anytime soon.
Yeah, like I'm seeing all of that. But to be honest, since your team has gotten here, and a lot of the guys on his team that are older and have like wives and kids and stuff, and just being at that game with like the wives and the children, it just shows me how not ready I am. And I think a lot of people would think like, oh, you're around like little kids, and as much as I love them and like seeing them and spending time with them, I'm just like an hour. I'm 23, like I just feel so not ready. And maybe some people are at my age, I don't know. Like some people have asked us too, they're like, well, what's like the difference of, I don't know. I think being engaged and like getting married is such a big deal in my head. Maybe it's like less to other people, but obviously it's like a huge legal thing. And people are like, well, what's the difference? Like you already live together, have a dog, whatever. And then I was like, wait, I guess it's not that different, like being gay. But also like it's fine the way it is. And
there's no rush.
And it just seems like so much pressure. So like I'm good for, and just being around little kids, I'm like, I am a kid. Like I feel like I'm being babysat with you right now. Like I just not ready. I'm sorry, but that's not the answer you guys are looking for. Everyone's like, oh my god, I can't wait
literally
for like every Instagram post,
hand
and I'm like,
anything.
You guys, you don't understand. In my head,
it wouldn't be a picture of your hand. It would just be a normal
It's like
picture.
Me. It's like this, and my hand's like this, and they're like, "Where's the ring?" I'm like, "No, I feel like I'm 18 years old forever on the inside." So like, no. But obviously, one day. Just in the future. Okay. What made you fall in love with each other?
Oh wow.
I thought this was a cute question. I'll go first because I had time to think about it, because I saw these. I think honestly, because I remember on the time when we said we love each other or whatever, well, I know like meeting your family, I always said that was the time when I felt like I knew when I was on Cape and got to meet your whole family and like see why you are the way you are, and like where you came from and the people that raised you and everything. But I just feel like honestly, like, let me like cry. But you were just so like compassionate, maybe is just the word, and like kind and caring about everyone. I was thinking this the other day about how more than how you even treat like my family, my friends, and your family, because you love all of them and they're all important to you, but like literally how you treat strangers and people you barely know. Like you're so kind to like random people that I normally would, I don't know, I'm kind of like oblivious and just like running through my day. But you're like so sweet to notice. So you're like, oh, like I should go help that neighbor like shovel or like with their trash, and I'm like, I feel like a horrible person. I wouldn't even think of that. Like all these like little things, I don't know. That's just like one reason that I love you.
Thank you. Lovely. Yeah, I would say similar to those lines of how selfless you are and how you kind of do a lot to take care of the people in your life, your sister and your mom, and you treat all your friends so nicely, and how, I don't know. This is a hard question.
I know.
It's so deep,
and there's so many reasons. Like obviously when you love each other, you love like a lot of things about each other. That was sweet. I feel like I'm not, I always end up feeling like I'm not that selfless, or I feel like you are way more, because I also feel like I do so many things for myself.
But you do a lot of things for other people too that a lot of people, including you, people don't see, so. Yeah,
I know. I think, yeah, we're on the same vibe here. I agree with that. Hardest part of dating an athlete. So I guess this is for me, since I'm not an athlete. But yeah, but it's the hardest part of dating an athlete. But I think I know the hardest part, in my opinion, would be the schedule and how much that can change. Like last year, because last year obviously before Corona, I had all my like tickets and travel plans and like tickets for Hamilton, if you guys remember that, and things like that, and then they can get called up, sent down, traded, knock on wood, like literally at any time. And so any plan you may have is not, it's not like permanent. Like it's just, any plan you have is like a maybe. And you have to be okay if it doesn't work out, and that's just like how it is, because you never like, you literally never know, like something or the coach could just be like team meeting or like video, and you're like, oh wait, but okay, or like last year like team like party, like things like that. So yeah, that's the hardest part. Or like away game, like if you had something planned and then you have an away game and you're gone for like a weekend, and it's like, oh, not doing that, like things like that. But how to keep spark alive when living together?
Ooh, I think still doing the like little things that makes you happy, and that I like doing, like either surprising you with coffee or flowers or candy or whatever it may be. Yeah, getting your toothbrush ready.
We love doing that for each other, putting toothpaste. If you guys have boyfriend or girlfriend, put toothpaste on their toothbrush, and it's just like, it's like, aw, like that's so sweet.
Yeah, like you don't have to do those things, but it's like nice when the other one does that, you know? Yeah,
I think being really intentional, because I've talked about this a million times, but it's so easy to spend time around each other but not spend time, like quality time together. So like one of our goals, we talked about like our goals like in our relationship this year, is to have like a movie night at least once a month where like we don't even have our phones and we're just like watching a movie, spending time. But also you can be having more quality time than just like baking in front of the TV. But you know what I mean? Just like being intentional with how you want to spend your time together, and like, Have you made any friends since moving? Has your social life changed? I already said that. I'm so happy that his teammates are here now with their wives and children and girlfriends, because that's helped me a lot in feeling like I have more of a social life. But obviously our social life has changed moving out of Boston, where we had so many friends from college. So that's just how it's changed. Max, why did you wait so long to date someone?
I don't know. I don't think I was forcing it upon myself to date someone when I met you or decided to date you.
I know we both said we weren't looking.
Yeah, it just kind of happened, and I'm sure if there was someone I met earlier and I had the same feeling, I would have dated them, but I didn't meet anyone like that, so.
That's what you told, because when I first met him and liked him, I was like, I was skeptical. I'm like,
what's wrong?
I'm like, okay, you're like cute and on the hockey team. Like, obviously, like, why haven't you dated someone? Yeah. I'm like, red flag. Are you like mean to girls over here, like a little player? But no, he was just like, it just wasn't like, did I meet the right person? Last question: are we staying in Pennsylvania next year? We don't know.
Oh, I don't know. To be determined.
Because everyone always wants to know like future plans, off season, and we've said before we'd love to be like in Boston or on Cape Cod because that's where we're from. Boston feels like home to me in the off season. But then actually this coming year our lease goes through September because we weren't sure
for a little bit,
with your season starting late if it would go like into the summer, which it's not. It's just a shorter season, right? But yeah, and then so we'll be here through September. We'll maybe be staying if he stays with his team. Maybe be going if he's with a different team. We will see.
Or find somewhere to live in the summer.
Yeah.
Either on the Cape
it's
or
all
wherever,
in the air. So TBD. We don't know.
So who knows?
And in the future though, for off seasons, I would love to have like a permanent place we always go to, like
well.
Boston, Cape Cod, whatever. But we'll see. That's in the future. Up in the air. But I think that's it for this Q&A.
It? Wow.
You did so good.
Yeah, that was
Thank
great.
you for joining us. I knew we needed like a catch up.
I know. I feel like this was long overdue. I felt like the last one we did was
like a while ago.
In Allentown again, at the Strata.
Really?
I think so.
I remember making you do one of these with me when we were in Miami. Like in the ground in that hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm like so married.
I was
and
like,
we were probably dating for like 6 months or something. Everyone's probably like, what the heck? But yeah.
That was great.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining me, special guest.
Yeah, thanks for submitting your questions. Hopefully I answered them. Great.
You did.
Okay,
you did really well. And see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye.